For cheap gold, items and other boosts for Diablo 4, visit aoeah.com. Check out the link in the description, you get 3% off with the code ARIAT. Hello and welcome everybody. In this guide, I'll introduce my latest creation, a Spiritborn build that plays with Toxic Skin and Rushing Claw. It maybe won't reach the damage levels of Quill Volley builds, but this Poisonborn excels in clearing content like Helltides, Nightmare Dungeons or Hordes much faster, as it darts around the map in a flash. I'll briefly explain the key points so that you can understand what you're building. Let's go! First, the skill tree. We won't use a basic attack or a core skill, the first points are just to unlock the next clusters. We'll max out Toxic Skin, and the choice of passive skills is similar to the Quill Volley build. I use Armored Hide because I'm again using the combo of Aspect of Interdiction and Redirected Force, so we'll be stacking as much resolve as possible here too. I also play Counter Attack and Surge. Rushing Claw is our main attack, and we'll put the invasive extension to use it continuously without a cooldown. I've chosen the ultimate skill the Devourer as it fits best to the poison build, but you could also go with any other ultimate or swap it for another skill. The key passive is Noxious Resonance, that is why we stack critical strike damage in this poison build, even though damage over time can't crit. For the Spirit Halls, we'll put the Gorilla at the top, so our attack becomes a Gorilla skill. We'll need the Jaguar as second, because its Ferocity recharge allows us to use Rushing Claw continuously. But beware, this only works well if you can kill monsters quickly enough. If you face monsters that are too strong, you'll find yourself waiting on cooldowns, so this build isn't meant for pushing to the limit. For the Paragon system, I'm using the same boards as in the other build: Sapping, Viscous Shield, Convergence and Revealing. Blizzard should maybe consider buffing some of the other boards. For the glyphs, I'm currently using Bane, Kenny, Spirit, Colossus and Exploit. They make sense, but I'll test other glyphs later as well. As you can see, I'm still leveling up. Most of the gear is still missing the right upgrades. Feel free to check my planner link for guidance. I use 3 mystical items: Harlequin Crest, Turael Smite and Shattered Vow. The latter provides a lot of damage over time, adds berserking and executes enemies. I'm using the rune words Bak, Xal and Yul Ke for more life and barrier. Thanks to the Viscous Shield Paragon node, this also increases damage. On Pants and Amulet, we temper maximum resolve and barrier. I've used the Necro Temper bug here, but it also works when tempering and upgrading the items the regular way. But the new method makes it much easier to get the right upgrades. As mentioned, I'm also using the combo of Interdiction and Redirected Force, which will add a decent amount of extra damage from our high resolve stacks. I'm also using the Unyielding Hits aspect, that's why I have skulls in my jewelry and armor affixes on the gear. Like this, I get to a total of 5000 armor, maximizing the aspect. On the boots, we put the Duelist aspect, increasing our ferocity buffer, which we need to keep Rushing Claw resetting. We can also temper additional charges for Rushing Claw here, but ideally you want to hit Toxic Skin 3 times when upgrading. Finally, the 2 rings. Wound Drinker should add lots of ranks to Toxic Skin, and on the legendary ring I'm using the Soothsayer's aspect. I missed the second temper. Cooldown reduction for the Devourer would be better here. Also, critical strike damage would probably be better than dexterity. So that's my standard setup for now, though I see many additional options that I'll need to test. For example, you could wear the Shroud of False Death, or aim for even more resolve with legendary chest and head pieces. Without Turaels, you will have lower resistances, but with high resolve that hardly matters. You could also use a legendary weapon, this would allow an additional offensive aspect. You could move Redirected Force to the two-handed weapon and Unyielding Hits to the amulet. In that case, you'd need less armor, leaving space for missing resistances or more dexterity. The playstyle is super simple and a lot of fun. Just activate Toxic Skin and Armored Hide and tear through the enemies with Rushing Claw. As long as you kill fast enough, there are no cooldown issues, and it also works on bosses since each hit recharges ferocity there. When you hold down the attack button, the character carves through the boss like a saw. If you run out of Rushing Claw charges, you can reset it with the ultimate thanks to the Intricacy passive skill. But if your attack is frequently on cooldown, it's a sign you're running too high. This build can't push to the limit because of the mechanics, but in the end you should be able to run 101 and 111 pits quickly. As I mentioned, there are many other options to explore, and maybe the build has some potential for PvP as well. I'll keep you updated if I find anything significant. I say goodbye, take care, and may the loot be with you.
Follow me. Thanks. Goodbye.